part of the Bible thought they were writing a Bible.
What's good, y'all? That video, first of all, the delivery of the video is absolutely hilarious. I watch some of these videos and I'm like, if I am privy to be able to sit in front of you and have a conversation with you, are you going to talk the way that you're talking in these videos? Now, I know 1,000% that I have created a persona for online, but it is just a manifestation of who I am in real life. My kids just be laughing at me because they be like, they'll see when I'll go in and out of my persona, even when I'm just talking to them. The Doy's like, okay, I see who I'm talking to right now. But aside from that, let's talk about the Bible. This is something that, I often see videos of naysayers, believers, non-believers, yada yada. This particular individual, I honestly don't know where she stands on the Bible, because in one way she's trashing the Bible, and the next way she's saying, it is a resource. I believe that they have taken this particular piece of literature, as she calls it, and aligned it with a particular religion, and they've used this piece of literature to kind of control the narrative in relation to a particular religion. Now, they've used that religion to control a people and to direct a people away from their true divinity. And that's why largely those people who even identify as this particular religion are lost. You all say you are, you all say you do, but you truly don't. And that's for you to determine. That's not for me to determine. I got to figure myself out. But also there's a group of people who have broken away from this religious organization. And now because this because this holy book is typically aligned with this particular organization, they not only walked away from the organization, they walked away from the book, and they walked away from God, which was the plan. So the plan has been executed expertly. So everyone out here who says, anti this and anti that, they're right. This book is very deceptive. But every lie is told to hide a truth, right? Have you ever lied just to lie? Or even if you lie just to lie, can you acknowledge that you're lying to hide a truth? So if the Bible is a book of lies, we have to understand, why are these lies being told? We also have to know that the Bible isn't a complete throwaway and tear down and rebuild. The Bible is also full of tremendous truths. And it is discerning eye that can go in there and pull out those truths. She makes a point to say that the book was written by a bunch of, lower rung people, addicts, abusers, people out here, people out for misogynists, people out here just slinging they dangling all around those people. It was written by a bunch of lower people in society that people just don't really pay attention to, because who are you to tell me I make more money than you? I have a higher social status than you. Why am I going to listen to you? Yeah, I do know Jesus was homeless 99% of the time, but that's none of my business. The point that I'm making is that God is going to use any and everyone to deliver a message. So for you to look at the who wrote the Bible instead of what they wrote, you're automatically confusing the messenger for the message. God uses me, and I'm sure all of y'all look at her. I do talk about myself in third person now, but a lot of you look at me and you're just like, ugh, I can't listen to her. Look at how God wouldn't talk through her. Well, you should go find that dressed up pretty image that you believe God's going to talk to and go listen to them. Good luck, friend. Because I'm not everybody's teacher. But those who identify me as a teacher understand I got something to say. And I got something to teach. Lastly, I want to go to the point of, do you really want to learn from someone who is sitting down with a direct intention to do something? You understand what I'm saying? If the people knew that they were writing the Bible, don't you think that they would be writing with a completely different intention than people who just are writing? People are just telling a story. People who believe that they are just telling a story are just telling a story. People who believe that they're telling a great story try to tell a great story. Everyone who has created something greatness have said, we just went into the lab and we were playing around and it happened. You understand? So for her to say, or anyone to say, it's just a bunch of stories and da-da-da-da-da, yeah. Wouldn't you rather learn from someone who lived life and recounted it and they paid attention to how they lived life and they told the story. So now you can study the lessons that they learned from just simply living life and live your life more intentionally. Why are we going to discount the stories of others simply because it's not dressed up in a fancy suit, smelling like $100,000 cologne, perfume, you know, got his mustache shaved off, got the nails perfectly manicured, locks perfectly retwisted, shirt, you know, didn't buy at the dollar store. Why are we going to wait until that shows up to listen? You got to understand that all of that is a distraction. So the more refined the package, you understand, the more refined the message. Now, my package is ultimately going to get refined because I understand in order for me to have mass appeal, I must appeal to the masses. But even then, reach to the early messages. When Lonnie was independent and didn't have nobody sponsoring her and didn't have anyone dictating, you can use this word, but you can't use that word. And you say the package has been packaged. So understand that you sit here and you question literature. You question people. Well, if you read this book, did you read this book? Maybe I don't have to read this book. You had to, because your knowledge comes from this earthly realm. But there's some of us where our knowledge does not come from this earthly realm. And I don't have to read anything unless God sends me to go read it. I don't have to do anything unless God tells me to do it. I don't have to say anything unless God tells me to say it. And I'm documenting my life, and I'm documenting since 2022 every single thing that's happening in my life. I'm doing it in video. I'm doing it in writing. And who knows what these videos and what these books, once they start publishing, who knows what the world will use these for. And if somebody one day says, yo, this book helped me change my life, you're going to look at that book and say, but she was a hoe. But she was a stripper for 3 days. But she consumes THC. But she cusses. But she sleeps in the same shirt and wears it the next day. That's a habit I gotta break. But I just sit in my house. What I'm changing my shirt for? For you? Yeah. Anyway, y'all just gotta be mindful of what you're consuming, how you're consuming it, and who you listen to. Yeah, I ain't gotta listen to me. I ain't said nothing. Go on about your day.